Oh, hello friend, happy Monday. Thanks for joining me for another video blog. And I just had an insight as I was writing a proposal to a company on a training regarding anxiety, how to help their employees to decrease, to even eliminate anxiety. Now, when I use the word eliminate, don't get me wrong, anxiety is an emotional state. So when I use the word decrease or eliminate, I'm speaking about this chronic underlying anxiety that a lot of us entrepreneurs, high achievers, type A doers have. And we mistaken that a lot of times by energy. I'm just have a lot of energy. And let me tell you how I discovered that my energy in fact was anxiety. It wasn't just energy from being healthy, from eating healthy, from moving my body every day. I discovered this actually having conversations with my spiritual teacher, this amazing woman that I work with, and I still work a little less now, but I work with her. And I had this pain in my body, emotional pain, mental pain that I used to say, I have so much energy and I don't have a place to put, like I needed like an outlet to plug in my energy because there's so much energy. Well, the energy was incoherent. It wasn't balanced. It wasn't harmonious. So that's how in my studies, reading a lot about emotions and anxiety, I came out of the closet basically and said, oh my God, I suffer from anxiety. And I think I started experiencing anxiety when I was around 11, 12 years old, when I started experiencing a lot of digestive problems. That was the time in my life that I had a lot of stress around my father, my parents' divorce. So I learned the emotion, the state of anxiety that age. And I won't say I lived with chronic anxiety ever since. No, definitely my 20s, not so much. My 30s, I think I was so busy bike racing, spent a lot of hours on my bike, I don't remember. But definitely got amplified in my 40s, especially when I start a company, my business. So let me tell you something that I insight about anxiety. Anxiety, it has many different roots. Okay, imagine my two hands in each, like roots, and each finger is one root. So it could be you grew up with an anxious father or an anxious mother, or they had a lot of bouts of anger or arguments, so you grew up with some fear. And anxiety is a physiological response to fear, so it might be from parents. It could be by parents putting a lot of pressure on you to get A's in school, or you putting pressure on yourself to always get A's, to be perfect. Or you had an experience maybe in when you were tiny, little boy or girl, or maybe in middle school, maybe in high school, that you felt very embarrassed, that you felt shame, and that put an imprint on you, so you walk around on eggshells a little bit. That can create anxiety. Let's jump ahead a little bit. Society, this need to achieve goals all the time, to always be pursuing something, pursue happiness, pursue success, this chase that never gives us a sense of being enough. So that can create anxiety as well. Lack of self-care, lack of rest, right? Proper rest, or poor nutrition. If you're not eating healthy foods, foods that your body can understand, foods that can promote health, like healing, repair, you can have anxiety. Anyway, I'm just saying these things just to show you that I can't just tell you in a video what is causing your anxiety. For that, I need to work with you one-on-one. And sometimes, it takes several sessions for me to get to the root of the anxiety of my clients. But I always get with them with their help, by inquiring, by asking questions, by have my clients becoming very vulnerable in a safe environment. We get to discover together the root of the anxiety, then we work with that. Now, let's shift into a new conversation here around anxiety. A lot of people are personal development, personal growth junkies. You're looking at one of them. You can see my library, my certificates, and a lot of seminars that I attended, a lot of webinars that I watched. I work with coaches, so I get it. And because I've been really infiltrated inside the personal growth industry, I have seen the light and the darkness of the personal growth industry, right? Like everything has a light and a dark, and the dark is not bad. It's just a contrast, right? So this is the problem with the personal growth field. They claim that they can help a lot of people to eliminate anxiety or to eliminate fear. And it's not, there's partial truth on that, because change always starts with the mind. You need to acquire knowledge. You need to use your intellect, acquire knowledge first to understand what's going on with you, to understand maybe what's going on with the body, to understand the process that I'm gonna maybe use with you, or the process you're gonna use for yourself or with another coach. So there is the mind. You gotta get the mind first, the mental part, to first understand the process and acquire knowledge. You will not solve any emotional problem that comes from years of conditioning or past trauma or old beliefs, values that are in your subconscious mind. You will not solve an anxiety that comes from those places by just using your intellectual mind. In other words, you can read all the 300 books in my library here, and you still will have anxiety if you're somebody who struggles with anxiety. But you can read all these books here and still have anxiety. You can do 5 years of therapy, talk therapy, and still have anxiety. You can go all to the seminars, Tony Robbins, Brendon Burchard, Gary Vee, all the top speakers and coaches in the world. You can go to their seminars and you might still have anxiety. Why? Because you cannot release an emotion, an ingrained, deep conditioned emotion that your body has memorized. You cannot solve that emotion, release that emotion, by using your intellectual mind. I'm going to say that again. You cannot release, eliminate, even maybe decrease an emotional state of your body that was created, for many years, that came from deep conditioning, from childhood, from conditioning in the last 10 years. You cannot solve the problem by using your intellectual mind. In other words, you cannot just read books, you cannot just go to seminars, or even do a lot of talk therapy. It won't solve the problem. This is a very important message. Why? Because emotions are not processed in the brain, in the intellect. Emotions are language of the body. That's why we say, I feel scared, I feel sad, I feel anxious. The moment you say the word I feel or I'm experiencing, that's an emotion. That's in the body. Now when you say I think, then use your mind. Interesting enough, there's a big disconnect between the thinking and the feeling, because a lot of times I ask people, even my own clients, and I say, how do you feel? And because they're not, in the beginning of the stage when they start working with me, they're not so connected with the body yet, because I teach them how to deeply connect with the body and use the body as a teacher to guide them. Usually when I ask somebody, how do you feel? They say, I think I feel good. But they use the word, so language, that's why I study neurolinguistics. The language tells me everything. And I used to be the same way. That's why I know this thing so much. A lot of my learnings now, yes, a lot came from intellectual material, of course, and I'm always going to intellectual material. I'm not discounting the books and the seminars. I love them all. And there was a big part missing. I solve my problem, anxiety, by sitting every day from anywhere of about 40 minutes to sometimes an hour and a half in training my body to unmemorize the emotion of anxiety. Now, it's a complex process. I cannot explain to you in a video. If you're interested in this, come and do, a 3-month coaching program with me, and I teach you. I teach you how you become your own healer. You become your own coach. That's what my motto is based upon. I don't want you dependent on me. I'm going to teach you. Because even if you just come to me and we're just talking and I teach you here in my office how to unmemorize the emotion of anxiety, and you don't do the work, then I just become another source. I just become another book for you. And that's not my motto. So to unmemorize anxiety and replace anxiety by the feelings of joy, being present, feel safe, because anxiety is a feeling of feeling unsafe. So the body memorizes emotions. So you can think positive all day long. You can read the books. You can even meditate. There are ways to meditate that will condition your body with a new emotional state. And I'm digging deep into this work. And a lot of you might be very familiar with the work of Heart Math Institute that teaches us heart-brain coherence. You might be familiar with the work of Greg Braden, who talks a lot about heart-brain coherence. You might be familiar with Joe Dispenza, who runs his seminars, and why his seminars are sometimes 7 days, because he can really work with people and teach them how to retrain their bodies. So that's the message I want to share with you. If you're frustrated that you have done tons of therapy, gone to seminars, read the books, and still felt crappy, there's still like a lot of, negative states, negative feelings around you, well, you're not alone. I was the person. I was so frustrated. I got so angry at times because I was doing the work and I still felt the anxiety. And now life has given me a gift of time. Since I closed the business, I'm rebuilding my business. I am redesigning my model. And my model is still based on a lot of the old stuff that I used to teach, but it's upgraded now. It's upgraded because instead of doing a lot of talk with my clients, I have my clients doing the body training in my presence so they can learn, and I'm having great results with them. They having great results. So that's what I'm going to share with you. Don't get discouraged if you're doing all the personal development work. It's just not enough. You go from here. If you have trained your brain, your mindset a lot, awesome. Everything starts with the mindset. Now it's time for you to use your mind to connect with the body. It's literally creating brain and heart coherence. So that's what I'll share with you. If you want to learn more about this work, give me a call, send me an email, send me a personal message on Facebook or YouTube. I always check the messages and let me know if you're interested in this work, and I can teach you how to condition your body. I'm still a trainer. I was a personal trainer for 20 plus years, and I'm still the trainer, but now I train clients, I train people how to condition their body to create heaven on earth. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you very soon. Mwah.